Headlines of VTV News. State President Tho-Lam pays state visit to Cambodia. Prime Minister inspects Cần Thơ-Cà Mau Expressway. And later on in our world news, Japan government releases 2024 defense white paper.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to VTV News broadcast live to you from Hanoi. You're with me, Lina Pham, and here's the top news of the hour. State President Tho-Lam and a high-ranking Vietnamese delegation attended a banquet hosted by the General Secretary of the Lao People's Revolutionary Party, LPRP Central Committee, and President of Laos Thongloun Sisoulith in Vientiane on July the 11th. Speaking at the reception, the state president emphasized that the party, state, and people of Vietnam are willing to do their utmost to preserve and promote the special friendship, loyalty, and solidarity between the two nations. General Secretary of the Lao People's Revolutionary Party Central Committee and President of Laos Thongloun Sisoulith expressed his gratitude to the party, state, and army and people of Vietnam for their valuable and great support in the past struggle for independence and in the current national construction. At the same time, he affirmed that he would promote and create every favorable condition for the implementation of the agreements between the two parties' highest leaders, which aim to deepen the relationship. At the reception, the two leaders also enjoyed art performances and participated in traditional cultural activities, such as a Lao traditional dance called Lam Vong, which demonstrates solidarity, trust, love, and the close relationship between the two countries and peoples. State President Tho-Lam paid a visit to the Nguyễn Du Lao Vietnamese bilingual school in Vientiane on Friday as part of his ongoing state visit to Laos. He also visited the Vietnamese embassy and met over 100 individuals representing the Vietnamese community in Laos.
The bilingual school offers classes from preschool to high school, providing a bilingual education in Vietnamese and Lao languages. Currently, the school boasts over 1,000 students, with around 30% being children of Vietnamese descent and a team of around 60 staff members. The Vietnamese state president highlighted the school's vital role in fostering friendly relations, special solidarity, and comprehensive cooperation between Vietnam and Laos, particularly in education. He suggested the two countries coordinate to expand the Lao-Vietnamese bilingual school model.
Education is a top national priority aimed at building the country's future. It is particularly crucial in the era of technology and knowledge. I suggest the school continue to enhance the quality of education and training, becoming a beacon that actively promotes the relationship between Vietnam and Laos.
To mark the occasion, the state president donated $30,000 to expand the school's kindergarten area. Meeting the Vietnamese embassy and community in Laos, the state president affirmed the party and state always pay attention to the overseas Vietnamese community. He expressed his hope that those in Laos will continue staying united, supporting each other, abiding by local laws, and acting as a bridge to nurture the special Vietnam-Laos relationship. The leader said that during visits and engagements with foreign leaders, the party and state leaders consistently call for support for overseas Vietnamese. The state president also granted $10,000 to the General Association of Vietnamese People in Laos to contribute to improving infrastructure and organizing community activities. Later in the afternoon, Lao General Secretary and President Thongloun Sisoulith bid farewell to State President Tho-Lam as he concluded his visit to Laos. Through talks, meetings with senior Lao leaders and other key activities, the state president's visit reaffirmed Vietnam's commitment to strong friendship, solidarity, and cooperation with Laos, marking a new stage in their relationship.
State President Tô Lâm arrived at the Phnom Penh International Airport on the afternoon of July the 12th, starting his two-day state visit to Cambodia at the invitation of King Pret Bat Samdech Pre Boromnith Norodom Sihamoni. Following an official welcome ceremony held at the Royal Palace, State President Tô Lâm met with King Norodom Sihamoni.
This trip holds tremendous significance, marking a milestone in further strengthening and deepening the bilateral relationship based on the principles of good neighborliness, traditional friendship, comprehensive cooperation, and long-term sustainability. Vietnam is currently Cambodia's third-largest trading partner and the biggest trading partner within the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. The bilateral trade rose from $5.32 billion in 2020 to $10.57 billion in 2022. Last year, despite negative impacts from the global economic recession, the two-way trade was still maintained at a high level, reaching $8.57 billion. In the first 5 months of 2024, it hit $4.6 billion and is expected to reach the $10 billion mark again for the whole year. Welcoming State President Tô Lâm on his first state visit, part of his first overseas tour as the state leader of Vietnam, King Norodom Sihamoni said this reflects the importance that the Vietnamese party and state, as well as the state president, attach to the close-knit and trustworthy relations between the two countries. The king also took this occasion to express his deep gratitude to the Vietnamese state and people for assisting the Cambodian people to escape from the genocidal regime of the past and develop the country's present. He affirmed that he will continue supporting the good tradition of friendship between the two countries as his father, the late King Norodom Sihanouk, used to do. For his part, State President Tô Lâm emphasized that Vietnam always treasures and gives top priority to the enhancement and development of its ties with Cambodia. Generations of Vietnamese leaders have appreciated the good sentiments along with precious support and assistance from the late King Norodom Sihanouk and generations of Cambodian leaders and people for Vietnam during its past struggle for national independence and the current cause of national construction and development, he remarked. State President Tô Lâm invited King Norodom Sihamoni to visit Vietnam in 2024. The king appreciated the invitation, noting that he would visit Vietnam soon. After the meeting, State President Tô Lâm called Queen Mother Norodom Monini Sihanouk and invited her to visit Vietnam soon. Later that same day, King Norodom Sihamoni hosted a banquet in honor of the state leader and high-ranking delegation of Vietnam.
On the afternoon of July the 12th, State President Tô Lâm held talks with the President of the Cambodian People's Party, or CPP, and the President of the Cambodian Senate, Samdech Theino Hun Sen. He expressed his pleasure in visiting the kingdom and meeting again with Samdech Theino Hun Sen, a longtime close friend of Vietnam's leaders and people, and conveyed greetings and good health wishes from the General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam and other Vietnamese leaders. The Vietnamese president hailed the achievements made by Cambodia in recent years, the great victory of the CPP in the recent elections, and the election of Samdech Theino Hun Sen as the President of the Senate of Cambodia. During the talks, Vietnamese State President Tô Lâm and the CPP President agreed to effectively implement high-level agreements and meeting results between the two parties and increase meetings and contacts between senior leaders at all levels and on all channels. The leaders also agreed to continue to develop more comprehensive security defense cooperation and closely coordinate between the functional forces of the two countries. The two sides firmly agreed to promote and diversify forms of propaganda and education so that the people of Vietnam and Cambodia, especially the young generation, understand the bilateral relationship correctly, avoiding hostile forces from distorting and dividing the friendship between the two countries. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính visited Hậu Giang province on Friday to inspect the progress in constructing the Cần Thơ-Cà Mau Expressway, a 2021 to 2025 segment of the eastern section of the North-South Expressway project. This marked his fourth visit to the construction site, where he encouraged officials and workers and offered guidance on resolving obstacles to ensure the project's progress.
Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh expressed his satisfaction during the inspection, noting the progress of the expressway project and highlighting the valuable achievements so far. This outcome underscores the effective leadership of the party Central Committee, the support of the National Assembly, and the determined efforts of the government, ministries, local authorities, contractors, consultants, engineers, and workforce. He also praised the active involvement and support of the local community in the project area. During his visit to the construction site, the Prime Minister urged workers to overcome challenges, ensure compliance with quality, technical, and aesthetic standards, maintain labor safety, and ensure environmental sanitation. He also called on local authorities to mobilize the entire political system and the public to support and expedite the construction progress.
National key projects open up new development opportunities and bring tangible benefits. It is crucial to engage the entire political system and explore ways to involve the public using a combination of modern and traditional approaches.
Later, the Prime Minister heard reports from the contractor and related companies on the construction progress and encountered difficulties. He stressed completing the project by December 31, 2025. He instructed that site clearance be finalized by the end of July with sufficient materials being available. Ministries and branches were directed to streamline regulatory processes, while local authorities were urged to expedite licensing procedures. Regarding the pilot use of sea sand, the Prime Minister emphasized the need for transparent documentation and coordinated efforts with localities. He also highlighted the importance of contractors investing in modern equipment, supporting local partners, and ensuring thorough supervision of the implementation of land planning alongside the expressway. Lastly, he underscored the importance of caring for the well-being of those affected by the project.
Coming up next, new roads facilitate travel for people in rural areas. And Green Garment Team spreads message of green lifestyle. Welcome back to VTV News. The government has just issued Resolution number 109 on establishing a national fund to eliminate temporary and ramshackle houses nationwide by 2025 in a significant move to improve living conditions for impoverished people. The government assigned the Ministry of Finance to urgently issue a decision to establish a fund management board and be in charge of relevant tasks to ensure the fund's financial transparency after its establishment. The ministry was also asked to promptly issue regulations on categorizing a range of beneficiaries, implementation procedures, and monitoring processes. So far, over 315,000 households are classified as poor or near poor and need housing assistance nationwide. Concluding the regular June meeting and the government's online conference with localities, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính has asked relevant authorities to set a goal to construct or refurbish 170,000 homes by the end of 2025. The National Target Program on New Rural Development has proved effective in the Mekong Delta. Since the program was implemented nationwide, transport infrastructure in many rural areas has been upgraded, making it easier for locals to travel and transport goods. Our report comes from Trà Vinh and Bến Tre provinces.
This road has been built to facilitate travel and the transportation of goods. For a decade, this elderly farmer watched as hundreds of residents living along the Hậu River had to take circuitous routes to reach nearby areas.
Previously, locals had to detour to reach other areas, which was inconvenient and time-consuming.
District Road 17, connecting to Cẩm Sơn Commune Mỏ Cày Nam District, has been in use for more than 3 months. 3 bridges were also built for residents of Cẩm Sơn Islet.
Everyone was willing to donate their farming land and even perennial crop land for road expansion.
Local authorities in Trà Vinh province have invested in building more than 160 new roads and bridges. Of all the major roads connecting to the commune center, nearly 1,400 kilometers of them have been concreted. Meanwhile, in Bến Tre province, local authorities have upgraded and widened more than 5,200 kilometers of major roads, facilitating travel and good transportations.
The road expansion has reduced residents' transportation costs for goods. As raw materials are transported to the locality more easily, farm input costs have been reduced greatly.
Thanks to convenient transportation, many companies have invested in building new manufacturing facilities in rural areas, creating more jobs for local residents.
Preserving cultural values and maintaining the high moral standards of Vietnamese people in the new era is one of the ultimate goals mentioned by General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng in his book, namely Building and Developing an Advanced Vietnamese Culture Imbued with National Identity. To achieve this goal, many localities have taken numerous measures in which community participation is considered the center of the country's socio-economic development. Our report from Nam Định province.
Hành Thiện has been known as one of the most reputable villages in Nam Định province. Ngọc has 2 daughters and both of them hold a doctoral degree.
No matter which educational institutions they pursued, my daughters have achieved good results and also have a strong sense of morality.
Every year, the village's communal hall becomes a sacred place to honor successful people and scholars.
I will continue to study hard to be a good member of society.
Education is to become more humane. Therefore, the villagers have pursued education as a pathway to a better life.
Nearly 76% of all families in Nam Định province have earned the Family with Learning Culture title. Numerous movements have been carried out to encourage and inspire residents to contribute more on local development. Thuận is the first man in Hải Hậu district to develop swiftlet farming. The swiftlet farming model has now been replicated in many other cities and provinces.
I return to my hometown as it has great potential for development.
Local authorities have prioritized building human values as the core values make up everyone's personality and define how they act and contribute to the local social economic development.
We have implemented numerous policies to attract talent and excellent individuals. We hope they will contribute to the local socio-economic development in the future.
Joint efforts made by local authorities and the population in Nam Định province demonstrate the power of education in shaping future generations and laying the foundation for sustainable development.
Outdoor advertising panels and posters often use large tarpaulins. Over time, many of these panels and posters are forgotten, affecting the urban landscape and becoming waste that is difficult to decompose, causing environmental pollution. Many women in Cần Giờ district, Ho Chi Minh City, have found ways to minimize this problem through their creativity and skillful hands.
These are advertising panels brought back by the women in the Green Garment team from various places. These tarpaulins are then sewn into shopping bags, which are given as gifts or sold in markets in Cần Giờ district at affordable prices.
I sew these panels for women to reuse. This material only needs to be washed and dried to be reused. I want to protect the environment.
The Green Garment team was established in 2023, with shopping bags being their first product. Thanks to the support of the Cần Giờ Women's Union and green development organizations, the team was trained with additional skills, enabling them to make more types of products.
Apart from shopping bags, I also make bags, pen holders, and backpacks for kids. It makes me happy.
The team's products are showcased at tourist attractions and programs of agencies and departments in Cần Giờ district at a price of around $2 per product.
More people are reducing their use of plastic bags and segregating waste at the source. They also clean their surroundings. The Women's Union has also cleaned 2 polluted areas.
The Green Garment team has recycled thousands of kilograms of advertising panels and hundreds of kilograms of various types of rags. Besides generating an income of $40 to $80 per month, team members are promoting a green lifestyle and supporting the development of a circular and green economy in Cần Giờ.
2 whales have just appeared swimming in the coastal area of Phước Đồng village, An Hải commune, Tuy An district, Phú Yên province. This sighting was recorded by local people on Thursday. The 2 whales are quite large and black, each about 10 meters long and weighing several tons. They continuously rise to the surface of the water and catch prey. According to a fisherman's experience, the appearance of these whales indicates that the marine environment here is very good and the food supply for this species is extremely rich. Coming up next in our world news, Japan government releases 2024 defense white paper. And South Korea and NATO signed agreement on military airworthiness certification. The Japanese Ministry of Defense on Friday released the 2024 Defense White Paper, which reviews the 70-year development of the Japan Self-Defense Force. The Self-Defense Force is expected to establish the Japan Joint Operations Command in March 2025. This command will centrally oversee the nation's ground, maritime, and air self-defense forces and prepare for emergencies. The move also aims to strengthen the coordination of joint command between Japan and the United States. According to the Defense White Paper, starting April 2027, Japan will increase its defense budget to 2% of the gross domestic product to meet new security challenges. South Korea and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, have signed an agreement on a mutual recognition process for military airworthiness certification. This is NATO's first formal agreement with an Asian country. Under the deal, NATO will recognize the South Korean government's airworthiness certification for South Korean-made planes. The new deal with NATO is expected to shorten the time required for mutual recognition with other NATO members. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol expressed hope that the mutual recognition process will strengthen defense cooperation between South Korea and NATO members. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Thursday that he remained committed to the negotiated Gaza ceasefire framework. He also demanded that Israel retain control of key Gaza territory along the border with Egypt, known as the Philadelphia Corridor. Speaking after the return of Israeli negotiators from talks with mediators in Qatar, Prime Minister Netanyahu said Israel would defend 4 principles, with the key condition that Israel be allowed to keep fighting until its war aims of destroying Hamas and bringing home all hostages hostages are achieved. He also reaffirmed the other principles, such as stopping weapons from reaching Hamas from Egypt, not allowing militants to regroup in northern Gaza, and ensuring the maximum number of hostages are freed. Prime Minister Netanyahu's conditions conflict with Hamas' position that Israel must withdraw from all Gaza territory after a ceasefire. Traditionally, cosmetics were chosen based on brand recognition, packaging, user reviews, and store staff recommendations. However, these methods offered a limited range of options and often fell short of meeting individual needs or skin conditions. South Korean cosmetics giant Amor Pacific has developed a robotic arm-based, AI-powered makeup manufacturing system that helps people find cosmetics tailored to their exact skin tone.
Struggle to find cosmetic products in the right shade? This AI-powered technology can help. The robot, made by South Korean cosmetics giant Amor Pacific, is able to analyse users' skin and create products tailored to their exact needs on the spot.
Initially, I didn't fully trust it, but after applying it to my lips, I found it suited me well, so I believe it's trustworthy.
In South Korea's capital of Seoul, this AI-powered makeup manufacturer scans skin using data gathered over 78 years of the company's history. The robot then recommends products from a range of some 205 different skin foundation shades and 366 different lip product colours.
1차적으로는 고객님들을 피부 상태를 진단하고 니즈에 따라서
Initially, AI technology is applied to diagnose customers' skin conditions and recommend existing products based on their needs. Beyond that, for more segmented customer needs, we offer a service that allows customers to try the recommended colors and then make customized products on site.
진행을 하고 있습니다.
Everyone has their own specific skin tone, but usually buy the most common color available over the counter. Even though I'm interested in cosmetics, it's not easy to analyze them myself, and it's hard to tell just by looking. But with AI analyzing them for me, it seems more accurate.
Now the market for using AI in beauty and cosmetics industries is forecast to more than double, from over $3.2 billion in 2023 to $8.1 billion in 2028. That's according to analyst provider Business Research Company.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. Goodbye for now.